Ladies and gentlemen, we are tonight's entertainment.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Yo, what up, people? It's Philly Council, live and direct with Unpopular Celebrity. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, your favorite snack, because we about to talk about all kinds of provocative stuff. Military, politics, sports, whatever you name it. Prepare for a roller coaster of emotions, knowledge, entertainment, and downright fun. Hey, but before we go further, hey, yo, Jess, what up, girl?
So it's like my mom always said, 2 tears in a bucket, motherfuckers.
What's up? It's Dev from the Unpopular Celebrities Podcast. Get ready for a podcast that brings the excitement right to your screen.
What up? What up? What up?
What up?
I don't even know what that was.
And my brother Abstract.
That was my Martin Lawrence. That was my Martin Lawrence.
So you screaming like your banshee. Philly over there freestyling.
First of all, he's not freestyling.
What up, man? Hey,
freestyling at all.
let the man. If he's saying he freestyling, he freestyle.
But he ain't.
Why you gotta hate though? It's too early to be hating.
You know what? This dude is a straight hater, man.
It's too early to be hating.
First of all, can I say something real quick?
Right,
Scott Roy, what's up, man? We'll get you on in a second, but Scott Roy is on here. So what's up, Chief Roy?
What's up, bro?
Let me apologize. Let me apologize to Philly Council. When I think I set you up for failure when you went ahead and engineered the last show. Because we are about 17 minutes late, and it's all my fault. I was trying to engineer some stuff and move some stuff around, but we're on Facebook. You know, we're good to go. So I apologize to you, Philly. It's a little bit harder and more complex that we'll talk about later. So I apologize. Yeah. All right.
See, I can't be gone. I can't be gone for one episode, man.
It's you, huh?
I can't leave for one episode, man, without y'all going crazy,
man. Anyway,
what's up, people? You already know who it is. It's your boys, D. I can't say I can say your boys until Jess jump in right now. Unpopular Celebrities back at you one more again for another Sunday. What's going on? What's up with y'all, man? I ain't even run my story. What's up with y'all though? How y'all week been?
Man, I'm good, man. We just got back from Fort Bliss at the combat training site with IMSC. Good time seeing what the defenders doing out there and getting ready for the worldwide next week. So for all everybody in the comments that's watching, y'all send a quick congratulatory to my man Big Mike for his son graduating BMT and his birthday.
Hey, Airman Denson #2. I don't even think the Air Force ready for that.
We need one of y'all to get out.
Part 2, baby. Hey, part 2. It's coming. It's going down. It's going down.
What's up, man. I wish him all the best in the start and everything. I know he got a great mentor and dad, so he'll be all right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I know. I know he want to get out there and get in the intramurals and get the hooping and shit.
You know, that's all he wanted. He just wanted to get his basketball, man. So we got to get it sent to him, man, because that's all he wanted to do is ball. He been playing a little bit since he got to tech school, waiting for his class to start. So
Hey, boy,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Now, if you down there in Keesler, man, if you run into my #2, my right hand, my left hand, he up in Jersey. Y'all see he put on his butter bar, man. So he was excited about that. If you down there in Keesler, man, see my son, give him a dap, man, tell him congratulations, then pluck him in the backside of his head, say it came from his father.
God damn. Well, say it came from his father first and then hit him.
He might swing on you. He might swing on you.
Hey, boy, what's up, man? It was good meeting you at AFSA, bro. So it's good, putting a face to the name and everything, man. Met a lot of good people that watch the show and follow the show up there in AFSA. So that was pretty cool. I'm hoping next year we can all get down there. That's what I'm really hoping and dreaming for, that we can make that happen. But so Philly, I apologize to you. Mike, it's good to have you back on the show after a week being off, man. So we right back into it, man. Real quick, if y'all didn't know, and y'all should know, everybody who follows us on Facebook, we had a contest that went out. That contest went out, and we had 224 people. I'm reading the stats right now. 224 people that went ahead and subscribed for this contest. So this winner is going to get a free T-shirt for it, and we'll do this again. But the whole premise of the contest was supposed to like the post and then tag somebody, or add somebody to the podcast. So it was cool, man. I appreciate everybody that did it. But the winner of the show, without further ado, was Miss Faith Donovan. Congratulations to you.
Sound effects with a hand clapping over the hand.
I got it. Hold on, let me do that again. The winner of the show,
do it again.
Okay, the winner of the show, Miss Faith Donovan.
There we go. Hey, congratulations, Faith. Congratulations.
So one of us will go ahead and hit you up on Facebook, and we'll get you all your information, mail out your prize that you won, exclusive prize that you won. So yeah, man, definitely. But we'll get right on to the show. So we have a special guest on the show, somebody I've been knowing since I think 2005, forever, man. My dog, man, and right from the start, man, he rode hard for me when I was, kind of wet behind the ears airman, and kind of looked out for me, and has been doing so, since then, while he was in and since he's retired as well. So we'll bring him on right now. I know him as Mike. Name is Mike Pendelton. Let me get my reaction ready. All right, we'll bring him on right now, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Pendelton. I don't even know how he likes to be introduced, but what's up, big dog?
What's up, man? What y'all doing?
Hey, man, what's going on?
I'm trying to get a special guest to slide through, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man, but I don't know, man.
So where you at right now, man?
Man, I'm at the house, man, here in San Antonio, Texas, man. I'm in my little office at home, man.
Okay.
Just cooling out, man.
First of all, Mike, talk about your background. Talk about the thing in your background. I know we talked about beforehand, but tell everybody what's that thing in the background.
Like where I'm from, or like right behind you?
No, right behind you. Right behind you.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, man. So for whatever reason, man, I always liked Mega Man growing up, and like Sega and stuff, man. I could, growing up, man, from humble beginnings, man, you can't really afford it. So like I used to see people playing it, and I just turned 40 a couple weeks ago. And
shout out.
Yeah, happy birthday. And
thank you.
And so I threw myself like a Mega Man party, bro.
Oh yeah.
You said a Mega Man party?
On eBay, man. And if anybody's curious, man, you can't find Mega Man decorations nowhere, bro. So,
Mega Man.
I mean, Etsy and like Pinterest and like everywhere else, bro. I couldn't find them, man. I was like, man, dang, bro. I found this on eBay, man. So actually last night, as a matter of fact, I had a map of the US up there, and I took that down. I put that Mega Man thing up there. So I was like, man, that's cool.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, man. I should do me some
Mega
kind of
Man.
theme party, man. I had too much going on though. But happy belated birthday to you, man.
Yeah, it was good. I appreciate you too. You too.
Yeah. Hey, Nikita Lewis, thanks for coming on here, man, and congratulations to you in your retirement. I hope everything's going well with that.
That's my girl right there, man.
Yeah. I know she out there in San Antonio.
Her and her husband, K-Son, man. K-Son, my guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up. Hey, so tell everybody where you from, man. I know where you from, but tell everybody where you from.
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Man, I grew up in Louisiana, man, New Orleans, man. Lower 9th Ward, man. Tennessee Street, New Orleans Shotgun House, man. And got kicked out of my mom's house at the age of 13. I live with my auntie, man. She's first generation Haitian, and then my uncle, man, and my cousin, my brother, and me. And yeah, just grew up there, man. And so being around the culture, the spirit, and everything else, man. They're still, to this day. I mean, I got to put this out there, man, because we've been trying to find my grandma's green recipe, and everybody be like, "Oh, collard greens." I'm like, "Nah, man, collard greens, turnip greens, mustard greens, all the greens, man." But my grandmother, man, she like rest her soul, man. So like she had the best green recipe, bro. And she put orange crush in her greens, man. And y'all be like, that's crazy. But I promise you, man, that's the best greens you ever had, man. And I'll share it, man. Y'all can put it out there or whatever. But it's like it's an old recipe, man. But my auntie, man, she be pulling out the tiger's blood, chicken feet, and dice, boy. I'm out the room, bro.
Bro, you lost me with
What?
No. None of that. But I grew up in Know You.
Yeah,
Know You, man. Lower 9th, man.
Wait,
and,
what did you say about tiger's blood and chicken feet?
that's that voodoo, bro.
Oh, I got
bro,
you.
I ain't mess with that, bro.
That's why I ain't even repeat it, because I ain't gonna know what's gonna happen. I ain't gonna know what's happening if I said it. So I left it alone. You know what I'm saying?
I don't go on boats. Yeah. I don't watch scary movies, bro. I don't get on the water. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the beach, bro. Chilling, just think about life, man. Reading a book, man. I'm reading this book right now. It's called Burn Your Couch, man.
Burn your couch.
Yeah, y'all need to check that out, man.
No, I never heard of it.
Got it. My wife got it for me at the chaplain's office.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It ain't nothing crazy.
Yo, Mike, I gotta ask you a quick question before I forget, man. I just saw that movie Haunted Mansion with Tiffany Haddish in it and Rosario Dawson, which I might add that very nice looking. But anyway, so there's a stigma about Louisiana having a lot of like voodoo type stuff. Like my wife don't want to go to Louisiana because of that. Is that true or is that a myth?
I mean, I guess it all depends on where you go, man. Like, I'm not trying to be evasive, but I'll just say this, man. If you on the beaten path, man, you all good. But you go off the beaten path, and that ain't just Louisiana, man. That's anywhere. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Stay on the beaten path, man.
Stay on the beaten path. So basically, I go down to Mardi Gras,
That's
stay on the street. Don't veer off. None of that. Don't go nowhere.
Stay in the 3rd Ward, man. French Quarter. Stay in the 3rd Ward.
Matter of fact, let me put, hey Siri, save 3rd Ward. Stay on the street.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna forget that.
Hey, let me tell you how crazy. That's where our condo is, down in the 3rd Ward, man, in the French Quarter. Because I mean, and even still, then, bro. I mean, anyway. So like, here's how crazy it is, bro. Marie Laveau. You could Google her, man. She's the mother of voodoo, queen of voodoo, whatever you want to call it, man. Right across the street from the 3rd Ward where it ends, it goes into the 2nd, bro. Like, that's her grave. And I'm like, nah, dog.
Man.
I ain't messing with none of that, bro. I don't do no graveyards. I don't do nothing, bro.
And that's where your house at?
No, nah, bro.
I don't know, bro.
Nah, bro. I don't even watch Casper, bro.
This man said I don't watch Casper.
They don't watch Casper.
Hey, Mike P, you got a Tupac shirt on and said you don't watch Casper.
It is what it is. I said I don't watch Casper. I ain't say I ain't hand out combos.
I hear you, man. Hey, but how you so you said you got a little bit of your background. You talk about the Mega Man joint, but what led you? We are obviously, everybody know you retired right now, but what led you to start that Air Force game? What was the deciding factor for you?
Man, it's the stupidest thing ever, man. Like, I just didn't have nothing better to do with my life, man. Honestly.
I wouldn't say that's stupid, but go ahead.
Yeah. It's just honest, man. Like, I didn't have nothing better to do, man. I was going nowhere, man. I mean, my cousin was what he was, man. He was not the cousin that played for LSU, man, as we talked about earlier, man. But my other cousin, man, he's in Angola State Prison for the rest of his life, man. But he, I say it eloquently on the show, man. He rides for that Rojo, man, and that's kind of the flag they came up under, man. So, that got him in jail, and man, I didn't really have anywhere to go, man. And I mean, there ain't a whole lot of job options, man, for folks coming out of the lower ninth, man.
Yeah.
In that level and everything, man. If you check out like on YouTube any of them like Cash Money videos and stuff like that, man. Like he talks about the Magnolia projects and stuff. Like my auntie worked at Brian Williams' mom's bar, man, with Gladys.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. I mean, we stay 2 blocks from the Magnolia projects, man.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, not a whole lot of options, not a whole lot of stuff to do. And then I was just like, man, I didn't even tell my mom because we didn't have a real good relationship, man. And my dad was never around either. But I didn't even tell them, man, that I was in the Air Force until like I think I was in tech school or my first base or something like that. And they were like, man, you're in what? Like the military Air Force? I was like, yeah. Nah, man, that ain't true. I was like, yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Hey, so was it hard to adjust to the Air Force way of life when coming from where you're from and going into the military? Was it hard to adjust?
Not as much as I thought it would be, man. Honestly, because like the Air Force, the one good thing about the Air Force, man, is like it's such a melting pot of cultures and personalities. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you could feel at home wherever, man. Like I seen I heard Scott Roy on, man. That's my guy. Shout out Scott Roy, man, and the Kenya Lewis and, her husband, Kayshawn and stuff, man. Like, man, that's my family right there, man. Like, I talk to them. And you just kind of see people who are alike, man. You just assimilate, man. And, like, for example, I didn't know Philly. I hit him on Facebook today, man. I didn't even know who he was, man. But, like, J Mac and all them cats know him, man. So, we talked through that. And, I was like, hey, man, I had to run a question by him real quick, make sure we was all good and stuff. And, And so, you just kind of like-minded people, you tied and stuff like that. And so it's just kind of cool. I mean, there were some rules that I had to get used to for sure, man. And
as all of us.
That caught me up young when I was a youngin', man. But I mean, thankfully, man, through some great mentors and friends, man, I made it through.
Yeah, J-Mac, is that McCurry? Yeah. Philly, no, man, you know what's crazy?
It's good.
I know both of y'all, and both of y'all was at my first base, but it's crazy that y'all paths never crossed. And it must have been like he must have left on Tuesday, and you must have showed up on Wednesday. Like,
we talked about that, man.
That's just super crazy.
But like Eddie Grant's another one, man. Like, me and Eddie, we came up, Pete, you know what I'm saying? Philly and stuff. And I mean, it's just crazy, man. My homeboy, my brother from another mother, my absolute best friend, Steve Senoff, man. Like, that's my guy right there, man. Like, man, like just great people, man. Just assimilate and just help each other, you know what I'm saying? So
you'd be amazed how small it is. Because me and Grant was in South Carolina together, man. And I ain't no Pete and Pete, no Grant. Like, it's the world smaller than what we think it is. You know what I mean? And in the career field in general, like
facts.
Philly, you said the symposium this week or the worldwide is this week. Yeah, I can imagine how many people going to be.
Yeah, worldwide is this week.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that's what's up.
So, Mike P, to your point, when you said the reason why you came in, curious to hear your thoughts as to why do you think it's difficult for us to recruit the young Gen Z folks into the military versus our generation. What are your thoughts on that?
Recruit them and retain them.
Man, I think, it's a deeper question, man. I thought about that, man. I had some conversations about that with who we talked about earlier, man. And I ain't gonna put the name out there, but I mean, for me, it's like this, right? And I kind of, and this is important to me, and here's why, right? Because by the grace of God, man, I'm a Christian. I'm gonna throw that out there, man, for whatever that gets me on here, you know what I mean? But like, that's just who I am, right? Through the grace of God, I'm blessed to be able to spend time with my kids, right? And this question hits a nerve because, we talk a lot about culture, right? And the culture. And I think the reason that, and it's just me, for whatever it's worth, right? Is because it goes back to something I heard a long time ago, man. Like, everybody wants the truth till they get the truth they ain't ready to hear, bro.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and I say that in context of recruiting and retention because, like, we have a certain standard in the Air Force, but you got to understand that standard is a moving target, bro. It's a moving target because guess what, man? The kids today, they ain't drink out of a water hose and play outside, bro.
100%.
Oh man,
They ain't know what it was to scrap, the back against the wall, bro. They ain't got Rat Pack. You know what I mean? They don't know what it is, bro. They just don't know. 90% of the stuff on the internet is for play, bro. I seen it today, man. I called y'all, man. Man, I ain't gonna say that for man. But I had to go to this place. My daughter's in she's going in the 8th grade, bro. Man, I don't know what the hell Hollister was, bro, and like Sephoria and Ultra, whatever makeup places. Bro, I hate those places. First off, right?
we might need them as a sponsor. We got to edit that part out. You good? Go ahead.
I hate them places, man.
You good?
But I say this, man. Like, it's different, man. Like, you go in there and like this ain't a swipe of my daughter or nothing. Man. I'm like, hey, just ask that lady, man. She works here. No, I don't want to talk to nobody. What? Man, get your butt over there and talk to him, man. Like, it's that conversational piece, right? It's a different culture, so we got to embrace that and move on. But you can't say, hey, we want these airmen. We want, we'll accept this. But whoa, there's a line. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at, if that makes sense. But
the social abilities is a lot different, man. Like you said, this just that prime example. You know what I mean? And me being the father, my daughter the same way. We laugh and joke about it now. I remember one time, probably like a year and a half ago, she was like, "What we gonna eat?" I said, "Let's just order some pizza." Right? It was a Friday, nobody want to cook. I think it was a long day. I'm like, "Let's just order some pizza. Go ahead and call the pizza." But she like, "Call them." Like, yeah, call them and order this. The look on her face was like the look of death. And I'm like, "What's the problem with calling them?" But again, we came up from a different generation. We sat on the porch. We rode bikes. We played football in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did, man. They don't. It's different. It's just different.
Mike, it's funny as hell you say that because one of my members in the house, I ain't gonna say her name, but she wanted to raise the limit on her credit card, right? So she's like 26. So I was like, yo, you got to call them and ask them to do that, right? She's like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm like, I don't know how else to do it. Like probably you can go on the app and just apply, whatever. But I'm used to just calling and talking to them. But I don't want to talk. Like I was shocked. I was just really mind blown by that comment. Like I don't even know how you operate. I don't even know how you operate right now.
It's different, man. That's why I'm interested, man, to see this. I'm interested to see my son's path and his trajectory because I know him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he definitely ain't come up in our era, and I ain't trying to toot this on because he's my boy, but he was always outside. I'm telling you, if his mother and sister come down here right 7:00 in the morning, I'm hearing a little hand tap on my door asking Kenny, and ain't nobody out there yet. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see how his path and how he adjusts to it because it's a different culture. Mike, you hit that right on the head, man. They just came up different.
Yeah. Hey, we got a question already, man, for Scott Roy. If anybody else has a question, go ahead and type in the comments and we'll put it out there. Yeah. So Mike, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give 20-year-old Mike P?
Man, I knew Scott would ask me some old hard question like that, bro. Honestly, man, you don't have to go 100 miles an hour and miss things, man. You can slow down to 60 and catch everything, man.
Fuck, say that shit again. Damn, I heard that. Damn, bro.
You don't have to go 100 miles an hour and miss things, man. You can slow down to 60 and catch everything, man.
Yeah.
Good advice. Yeah, and I wish I would have known that a long time ago, man, because my life would have been a lot easier. But then again, man, like diamonds ain't forged in comfort, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure, man.
Pressure, man. Right out the gates, man. Man.
I know with that advice, do you really think you would be able to slow down at 20 years old?
Nah, bro. Bro. I mean, I didn't say I could follow it. I just said that's the advice I would give. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, I don't even know that, bro. You couldn't tell me nothing at 20, bro. Like, I knew everything, man. And yeah, man.
I don't think you can tell any of us. I don't think you can tell anybody. We all say that too, and myself included, right? We all say, "Man, I wish I knew then what I know now." But if you knew it then, would you still
would you act on it though?
You know, and that's the thing. You know what I mean? If you knew it then, would you really move on it like you say you would now? Because if it would have had the same value back then, that's the thing.
And if you don't mind, I ain't trying to steal the show, but I want to tap into what Philly asked me though earlier about the the question about recruiting, retention, things like that, and the challenges that the Air Force or the DoD faces. you know, there's a certain, and I mean, we all surf the internet and all this other stuff, man. And there's a certain thing out there, man, with culture, right? And like the game and all this stuff. Like my daughters are in 7th and 8th grade, bro. And like, you know, man, they come home talking about, I ain't no snitch. I'm like, what are you like? What?
What are you talking about?
Bro, like, hold on, man. Hold on. Where do we get this? And then, I mean, I tell them right now, bro, I could prove to you in 2 questions that you're a snitch. 2 questions, right? Because the thing is, bro, like they ain't walk how we walk, bro. Like they ain't walk how I walk, bro. I can't even say like how I grew up on here, man. We're probably the FCC have banned us and every damn thing else, bro. Like I've been flying birds and shit, man. Like bands and all that other stuff, man. Like, and so, man, I was like at 7 a.m. in the morning, man. Like, you know, Saturday, bro, I was in the streets like, what's the move? You know what I mean? Like I was getting money, man. It was my time was money. And so you know, I mean, probably official jobs, man, but you know, unofficial jobs. But anyway, so it's like that culture, man. It goes back to the generation and stuff. It's like, you know, kids come like, I ain't no snitch. Man. And I always mess with them. I'm like, yo, there's this 14th century philosopher that once said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Get old, Mike.
Yeah, he ain't 14th century. You know who Tupac is. I like your shirt. Man, you seen that? You don't know who Tupac is. Man. Like,
yeah.
But like, you know, that's it, man. And so, you know, I make my daughters a bet, man. And I did it the other day, man. My wife was laughing. She's like, man, you so messy. And I was like, look, man, I tell you what, man, I can prove to you in 2 questions that you're a snitch. And that you're not about the thing that you say you're about, that the internet spreads and this whole culture and this whole movement with this, you know, the young generation and stuff. I can prove to you that in 2 questions, man, 2 questions.
Yeah.
And if I do, I'll tell you what, I'll give you each $100 bill right here, man. I'll give you $500 each, man.
Yeah.
But if I don't, I get your phones for a month.
Oh, no, they ain't making that bet.
Oh, they ain't. No, that bet was called off ASAP.
Yeah.
No, they actually did, man. They made it.
For real?
Yeah. So I got some 2 questions, man. And I proved to them, man. And I say, look, man, 2 questions. And this is a test that every parent should give their kid, man. And maybe not, man. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best parent ever, man, but I try hard. And but I'll tell you, man, like it's culture and stuff, and it's those open conversations, that open dialogue that I appreciate that my kids bring to me, man, because we have that open dialogue back and forth, and the ability to have that communication with your kids is invaluable.
Hey, you hit that nail on the head, man. That one right there is the one, right? Because we get so locked into what we doing and trying to be the best parent. Like you said, we going 100 miles an hour. And that one thing we miss is that open dialogue. Not all of us, you know what I mean? Not everybody, but some. And I think with this generation in particular, that's important, right? You got to be, you got to make it comfortable. Not to that. I'm a firm believer in you and your friends, you and your kids don't be friends. I'm a firm. That's not how but the thing is, you got to still have that line of communication where they feel like if something and anything going on, they could come ask you or tell you about it, and know that you're going to have a comfort level to be able to discuss it with them. Because if they feel like it's a barrier between them being able to say anything to you as far as them being confused or somebody doing something wrong to them, it's a bad day.
And the way I feel like I get there, man, is
Only
like,
thing I would,
go ahead, Phil.
What you got, Philly?
no, only thing I was going to add is I think one thing we forget is like I think in this age of this new generation, and I was going to touch on the recruiting piece from my particular thoughts. But when it comes to this new generation, we try so much to try to connect with them in various ways. Like there are certain things I would not tell like my mom and pops when I was younger, right? Like if I was like, hey, you know, I saw my friend down the street smoking weed, you know, what do you think about that, Mom? What do you think about if I smoke weed? I would never tell her something like that. But these days, parents feel like kids should be able to come to them and be like, hey, Mom, I'm thinking about smoking crack. What you think about that? And they'd be like, oh, well, let's walk through the process of why it's a good idea or a bad idea.
I mean, that's a decision.
And then
sure,
out of that,
you know?
there's some parents that feel like they got to be friends. To Mike's point, some parents feel like they got to be friends with their kids. And I don't agree with that 100%. I don't agree with that too. You cannot be friends with your kids. Now, when they get older, like my kids are now 28, 24 years old, we can chop it up about anything because now you're a grown man. But when you're a child, there's certain barriers you got to respect It's no different than supervisor and troop.
Right.
There's a certain barrier. Like I tell my troops all the time, I kid with my boss all the time, but I know there's a red line I would never cross, no matter how familiar we get. I just
100%.
think that's a respect thing. So,
hey, real quick, I don't want to kill the show, but I need to do this. Shout out to Joanna McWilliams for sending the 99 stars. So it won't show up on here, but it shows up on our Facebook. So really appreciate the stars that you donated. Yeah, appreciate that. Go ahead, Mike.
I would just say like,
hey,
y'all both Mike. I keep messing that up.
Pete, the disclaimer.
And you're absolutely right, man. I mean, with me, man, like I'm smart enough to know that I have to meet my kids where they are because they're just that. They're children. You know what I mean? I have to meet them where they're comfortable, right? But I'm still level-headed enough to keep that line. Hey, don't get it twisted, man. Like I'm the parent, you're the child. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to like it. You can feel how you want to feel, man. That's your right. But I mean, you don't get to hijack the truth. You know what I mean? Right. The truth is you didn't do what you were supposed to do, man. Give me your phone.
That's it. No, that's it. Those lines can't be crossed. And like I said, Philly, I'm with you. I think that's one of the worst things. The worst things, and it goes both ways, Philly. And I appreciate you bringing that in as far as relating it to supervising troop. But it goes both ways, man. If you don't set that line, if that's no barrier there, it's detrimental to how they move. You know what I mean? It's detrimental to how they move. What you say, like what's the value in the words that you say to them? Because what happens is you start to create a platform and you make them think that at that point in time in their life they equal to you. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to say that in a negative way. When you make them think they equal to you, we got the same amount of authority in this situation. Why should I listen? Why should I care about anything that you're saying? What does your words mean to me when my words mean just as much? And without the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? It always got to be them barriers. You got to maintain that line, and it has to be transparent.
That'll probably save you from knocking them out when they're like 17.
I agree with you, bro. And like I always say, when we talk about parents and when we talk about parenting, I try my best to raise my kids out of respect and not fear, because that fear going to disappear at some point in time in their life. They gonna get to a point in time in their life where they feel ain't nothing you can do to me. So why do I even care? You know what I'm saying? Once a person get to that point, ain't nothing you can do to me. Everything's out the window. And same as your truth. When they feel like, hey, you blowing smoke. You told me you was gonna write that LOC. You told me you was gonna write that LOO. You told me you was gonna take my time away from me or whatever. Once them words have no value or it's nothing behind it, you can call it. You can call it.
Let me pay some bills real quick. Anything that comes from unpopular celebrities is all unofficial. None of the conversations or comments from us or the guests represent the DOD or the armed forces as a whole. All right, that's done. That's done. If y'all want to donate to the show, y'all can read that on the bottom. Streamlabs.unpopular celebrities. You guys can donate to the show. Keep the lights on a little longer so we can keep bringing you this good content. Philly, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, I was going to say, I want to bring up something for everybody, see what they think. So, what's up, Chad? I'll see you tomorrow at Worldwide, man.
Hey, he said, Mike and DC, I hope y'all have
right there, bro.
He said, I hope you have a good, man. I guess you don't care if I have a good week. Man,
he said, hope to see y'all this week.
Oh, he did.
Man, I owe you that, bro.
Come on, man. How you going to read it wrong and then fire shots at him?
My bad, Chief. Shout out to you.
There you go, man. Hey, actually, take yourself out. Take yourself out for 2 seconds.
Chad's one of the best people I've known, bro. Like, Chad's heart is pure, bro. And, man, he's a good dude, man. He's a real good dude. That's my guy right there.
Yeah, we had him on a couple of weeks ago, man. Yeah, definitely a genuine show. Shout out to him again. Appreciate the transparency.
That was a real show, man.
Yeah.
No, I want to throw this out to the group for recruiting, right? And I just want to throw this out. Like, this is what I think. Like, when you think about Gen Zs these days, a couple of things that come to mind. One, it's hard for them to join something knowing that they're going to go to war and die for it. Like, if you look at all the different things that we in uniform, and Mike P, when you served in uniform, that we would go to war for, it's a plethora of things, whether it be not only defense of the homeland, but defense of other countries that are like our friends of the United States or in a treaty with the United States, abortion, things of that nature. And so Gen Zs, and I would argue, there's not all, but there are some who are not on that same mindset as far as like, well, we need to fight for this, and that. Not only that, I mean, you can be TikTok famous these days between TikTok and Instagram, Twitch, and all that. I mean, the money that these folks are making is bananas. I mean, you look at Ice Spice, who put her music out on Spotify, and now she's friggin' like a superstar. So back in the day, the main draw was education. Get your education and then your medical benefits. I think them days are gone, man. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it kind of concerns me. What do we tell Gen Zs why they should join the military? So what y'all think?
That's a great question.
I think now the population of where they got a story like how Mike P said, you know, how I feel like that was my thing too. It's like I needed to do something. You know what I mean? I was starting a family. I needed to do something. So boom, I raised my right hand. But they have so many opportunities, like you say, Philly, it's so much easier to, like, I ain't got nothing to do. And I don't mean to throw this out there, nothing against anybody that get their money this way or whatever, you know, but you got, you know, these younger females, or what you want to call them, Instagram models, male and female. You can go on here and wear something particular or show a certain body part in this, you know, in a certain demographic or whatever, and you making millions of dollars. If it's that easy, then why do I need to do this? So I think the population is very slim to where you say, I don't have nothing else that I can do. Let me do this. I think it's so small. So hence why I guess we doing a lot of adjusting left and right, because we got to appease to them somehow, some way, because they can do whatever they want out there and not follow the same rules, right? Not have so much of a stringent lifestyle and get paid for it. Go ahead, Pete.
Let me put this comment up by Samel Brown. Shout out to Samel Brown. And,
what's up, big bro?
He said, "What's up, Milk Dad? Want to Milk Dad too?" I'm not sure who he's talking to.
He number three.
But anyway, Philly, in their defense, we didn't join to die either. We joined to get away from the crib. I don't think there's much difference today. What you think?
So I disagree. Only reason, let me clarify that. So yeah, I didn't join to die. But I did join knowing what I was signing up for. And I was trying to get out of Philadelphia too, but there was an idea. I knew what I was getting myself into. And remember, like when we came in, every single one of us at some point found something in their career that caused them to continue to go forward. I mean, we didn't stay in for money. I mean, let's be honest. I don't know about you, but I didn't stay in for money. So there was something that sparked us to stay in longer. Whereas with the Gen Zs, again, not all, but I think a majority of them are wondering, like, what is the benefit in joining the military where people is going to tell me what to do, when to do it? I can get paid more doing something else outside of being an officer. If you come in through ROTC, you can make some more money. But a lot of these folks coming in airman basic, it's like, what's the benefit of it?
Yeah, you're right. Because my son damn sure said in the back seat, when he was like, he said, I ain't star guy. I got to wait to put my stripes on. Then he whispered low. He said, I was making more at UPS. You know what I'm saying? But he understand the bigger picture, right? And that's why I love him. You know, I love all my kids, of course, but that's why I love them, because they know and look at the bigger picture at what they're doing and why they're doing it. Because like I said, it wasn't about the money. He got a plan, and the Air Force is a part of that plan in order for him to be successful later on down the line. And he knows it's not about that paycheck. I need to look at everything on that benefits fact sheet. It's about all of that as a whole, because that's what really, you know, what pushes and make me as a whole is in the airman and so on and so forth. But it's hard, man. What do we offer? You know what I mean? What do we offer? What we put on the table in order for them to say, I'm a realist?
I would say this, man, like, you know, just to jump in here, if y'all don't mind.
Jump in.
So you look at so I agree 100%, Philly, right? 100%, right? But you look at like Sam Bankman-Fried, right? The CEO and founder of FTX, the crypto exchange that fell.
Yeah.
A little while ago, right? And that was done for a whole lot of reasons, man. But like a lot of people lost a lot of money, and that's unfortunate. And so I'll say this, man, like you know, when you just jump into it and you're doing it, man, like, you know, look at everybody. We talked about hip hop earlier and stuff, and we talked about a little bit of everything, man. Like, you're kind of living fast, man, because you're missing something, man, in business and everything, bro. Like, it never ends up how it starts, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like, look at, you know, when people first make it and stuff like that, and then now look at them, you know, look at Dre when he first signed with Suge and them, bro. Like, NWA and stuff. Now look at him now, man. Interscope and everything. Like, it never ends how it starts, right? So that's a process, man. And if you don't have the discipline and pick it up along the way, or somebody, snatch you up and meet you, man. Like, I mean, and I use myself for example, man. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna get into my crypto portfolio, or what I do in my free time, but like I have to have discipline in that too, man. I have to know, kind of like that old song goes, man, know when to fold them and know when to walk away, man. Like, you have to have that discipline, man, and that's what I mean, the streets definitely built the foundation of the lower Ninth Ward in New Orleans, man. But like the Air Force, definitely solidified that foundation, man. I have to know when to walk away, and so, Philly, to circle back, man, I would say, targeted recruiting zones. And Samel, he was on here, man. I saw his question. That's a good question, man. But like, sometimes we need those YouTube and Snapchat or Snapchat. I don't do socials like that, man. It's Facebook, but like, sometimes we need those folks in those targeted recruiting areas that came up like we did, man. And like, let's do a survey and figure out where those are so we can get the people that we need, right? And then sometimes we need them cats that are like YouTube flunkies, man, and they couldn't get 1 million likes. But that does validate, what I said earlier about this culture, man. Everybody, like 90% of the stuff on the internet's for play, bro. Like these cats are doing it, bro. They're telling on themselves for likes on a post, man. Telling on themselves for likes on a post, man.
Let me get to. Hold on, Philly. Let me get to a lot of these comments.
Sorry, man, my bad.
Nah, you good.
Mike, can you take a couple of these?
Yeah, just fire them up. All right. The reasons we join are definitely not why we stay. In line with what you was talking about, Mike B. Dale B says, salute to Mike and Philly being that example for their kids and joining the armed forces. That's what spiked my interest when I saw my pops in uniform growing up. Yeah, for sure. Shout out, Big B.
Good point.
I joined knowing that I could retire at 38 and collect a check with benefits forever and start something else. But now the kids are smarter and start their own business younger and don't care about the benefits.
I want to tap on that once we get through all these. Shout out to PJ.
Yeah. I was having this conversation right now with my niece.
Shout out Nick Jack.
Here you go. I don't even know. Look, only because it's Nick Jack, I'm gonna read it, man. SF in the house. Hashtag Tesla. Hashtag curbside assistance.
Well, I had an electric car one time when I was a kid. It was Power Wheels, and it didn't
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Nah, man. I got a truck in the garage right now, man. 950 horses to the ground, dog. Man. And I done got some Teslas too on them.
It ain't faster than mine. It ain't fast. Anyway, let's go.
Hey, Scott Roy said, motivation gets you started, but when that runs out, it's discipline that keeps you on course. 100%.
I like that. And I think that's 100%. The main thing about what we talked about the YouTube. We got a couple more. I want to get through all these, and we'll get through everything else.
I enlisted from a high school dead center of 6 major universities. No one from Rossi came to the hood to see about us. Only an airman recruit. I'm sorry, only recruiter. Hey, yo, what up, Nick Jack? We love you too, man.
Yeah, he said congratulations.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
All right, sorry for catching up to all those comments. They were flying in. We had to get them out there.
Get back to the one you said you wanted to tap to, though. I think it was Nick Williams.
Business and benefits.
No benefits. Yeah.
All right, so it's so much easier to start a business now, and people want to be their own bosses. I think a lot more than when we came up. It was about working. Who are you going to work for? Now I think, and I could be wrong, but now I think children or kids or young adults are seeing it that I could just work for myself and make the same amount, if not a lot more money, make my own schedule, have all these benefits of the land of the free type of mentality. And you ain't got to worry about working for nobody. I don't think people want to work for anybody anymore. I think people just want to work for themselves.
The thing is, in me, I think this is huge, man. Like the thing is, in my opinion, with that, our parents taught an employee mentality, not an employer mentality.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that was the thing, right? A lot of us, you came up, our parents taught trauma, they taught stress, they taught struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like they taught employee mentality. So you only gonna go off what you know until what Mike P say, till you get somebody to come along and grab you and show you something different, right? Like me and some, I can't remember who I was talking with, man, but we talking about where we from, right? You think about all 4 of us, where we from, and we always say we go back home and we see the same people doing the same thing, right? Because if they don't have nobody in that immediate area to look to say he or she is doing something different, I want to do that. If everybody doing the same thing, what else? What are you seeing? There's no visibility for success. Or if your mind frame is success, the dude on the corner, hustling and doing whatever he's doing, if that's success to you, that's what you're chasing. You got to have that visibility, and you got to have somebody to guide you in that direction.
I'll be honest, man. I mean, the reason why I started investing in the first place, somebody told me to, but at the other thing is like, they can't tell you no. As long as you have the money to buy it, nobody can tell you no. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what I was looking for at the time and kind of motivated me to keep going, is because coming up in the military, especially young, how many times have we heard the word no, it's not your time right now, you can't do it right now, or whatever. And there's some humbleness to that, and I do appreciate that, and some of that is true. But when you keep hearing it all the time, when the door you're trying to break through is always locked and you ain't got the key for it, you can start getting upset and you get kind of discouraged. So you start doing your own thing to say, nobody can stop me now. I mean, we all have all three of us have a show on here now. Like, nobody can tell us what to put on here. They can't tell us what to put. They can't tell us who their guests are. They can try, but it's up to us if we want to do it, right? This is the point of being an entrepreneur. The point of having your own business is that you have freedom to do what you want, and your success or failure, it's all on you. And I think people really like that. I think people really want that. I don't got to rely. So if we work for Tesla and Elon's like, F it, I don't want to do Tesla no more. Tesla going out of business. I just lost out. People get laid off, people get fired or stuff like that, or furloughs or whatever the hell you call it. And people get upset. When you work for yourself, you decide when you want to stop.
Right.
Same thing with the YouTubers, Facebook, Instagram models, all that, whatever they are, they decide when to work. They decide when they want to quit. And a lot of people, will determine what success is to them and don't have to worry about trying to satisfy an employee's vision of success, how much they sell, how many hours they work, or fighting to get more hours. I do it all myself. So I think there's, back to Philly's point about why we can't get people in the military, I'll shut up after this, is that you always work for somebody in the military. You always going to have a boss. I don't care where you make it to. You're always going to have at least 2 to 3 somebody in your chain of command or outside of your chain of command that determines a lot of where you grow and how quickly you can grow. I think people get upset about that because they can look at their YouTubers and they're doing everything themselves and don't got to answer nobody. I'm sorry, that was a long answer. I'll try to keep it shorter.
Right, good.
So let me ask this: I'm gonna ask a rhetorical question. Is that bad?
That's
here's the reason why. That was a rhetorical question. That means
you did say that. You did say that.
I'm sorry.
He ready to fire. He ready to fire off.
So here's the rub. Here's the rub.
Man.
Here's the rub. I'm not saying I don't disagree with you, because everyone wants to be the CEO. Everybody wants to be able to call their own shots. I think what's been missing, not just now, over time, it has deteriorated over the decades, is the sense of service. You think about it, right? In this country, the fact that you have an Ice Spice, or you have someone who has got 1 million subscribers on YouTube or whatever, is because of the type of country that we live in. And in this country, because of the different things that we believe in, there are folks outside of this country that would love to see this country go under. And we already know who those different countries are. Mm-hmm. So for those people that become TikTok stars, Twitch stars, there are 1% of the folks that have volunteered, not necessarily all, to the defense of their country, maybe to go education, or like Mike P said, get out of their neighborhood. But somebody has to do it. I think, to Mike's point, when we talk about like an employer's mentality, I think what parents, unlike Mike and myself, and I would argue some other folks people that went into the military, I've taught the sense of service, to be able to say, hey, look, yes, you can easily go out and do a podcast and make a lot of money. You can be a CEO and get a lot of stocks or whatever, but there's nothing that's going to take away the sense of service for this country. And I think that's what we're missing as a people in America. Because I'm going to tell you, there's going to come a time where folks are going to have to do what they can to protect what they have in this country. I think people forget that.
I would agree.
Let me get to these comments. Let me get to these comments before they get out of control and you get your thoughts together.
Go ahead.
This is a question, so I'll go back to this one, but let me get to this comment. Can you read that one, or Mike?
Catching up late, but my point too about reaching the younger generation is the younger service members need to be the ones providing the pros and cons. Most do not want to hear from the old heads. Good stuff, gents. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate that. Hold on, we got one more, and then I'll let you go.
Work ethic is hard to teach unless you are exposed to it at a young age. Folks are making money today doing basically nothing. Thus, it's appealing to people who do less but make more. Bottom line, hard work pays off.
100%.
Yeah. What was the question?
Oh, the question. Let me go back to God dog. There you go.
If everyone is thinking about themselves, who responsibility to think about the people? What you think about that, Mike P?
Go ahead, Pendleton. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's a good question.
I'm digesting a little bit, man.
I hear you. What you have?
I think, man, your talents get you to where you're at, but your character has to sustain you. There we go, man. But like, you know, that's why I tell people, man, like, you know, I would take somebody with character over talent 10 times out of 10, man, because you could teach talent, man. You can't teach character. Same with discipline and stuff like that, man. Like, you either got it or you don't, man. Like, and you know, for me personally, man, I retired because, you know, I see a lot of the comments and stuff now, man. I was kind of checking them on my phone, man, and I was like, look, you know, I mean, I had a choice when I retired, right? I could stay in and keep going and everything else, or I could, you know, retire, whatever, man. And I chose to retire, and 100% transparency. The reason I did is because I took a look around my environment, man. I was like, I can choose to lead in this environment or not choose. It doesn't make me any better or worse of a person. I just made my choice.
Right.
There's things that I want to do. There's a, you know, like a business case analysis, right? If it's all, you know, or business cost analysis, right? If it's, you know, if it's all cost and no profit, man, like, what are you doing, you know? And so I had to take a hard look at myself, man. And I was at a place where, you know, it's like, hey, it is what it is, man. And, you know, and there's no shame in doing that. It's just, you have to know when it's your time. You have to know this and that, because, you know, everyone is thinking about themselves, right? And Philly, back to what you were saying, man, like, the Air Force is too big of a machine to pivot like that on a dime, you know. But here's the thing, man, we're identifying all this stuff, right? Like the Air Force and, you know, like, you know, younger generation and everything else. But here's the deal, like, at least we know, you know what I mean? I would rather know than not know. So now that we know, what are we going to do about it, man? And that's where it takes, you know, people a lot. And I don't have the answers, right? I got my feelings, but I don't got the answers. And I mean, it's going to take some folks get in the room and like, yo, this is what it is. Give me your best plans. Give me your best colors, right? Because that's what it is, man. I mean, you got to adjust to that. They don't have to adjust to you. They're making millions on YouTube, bro. They telling themselves going to jail for likes on the post and getting out and make a rap song in a record. I mean, that's like, so damn, you said, bro. Like, you know, and so it's one of them things, man. Like, and this generation will eat it up, man. I'm like, bro, you just told on yourself to get yourself to jail, to spend time in jail, then to get out and get yourself rich. Because you wrote a rap in jail, man. Like, and you got a record.
Hey, James, thanks for the donation. I'm sorry.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, thanks, James. Pete got the worst timing though. Like,
it's not me. You can donate to the show; it pops up automatically. I can't control that.
Well, you can save it for the end. I want to give a thanks there, such and such, such and such.
I saw it pop up and caught me off guard.
You the worst, bro. Go ahead, Mike.
I just man, I mean, no, that's a good point, man. Everyone's thinking about themselves. Who's thinking about the people, man? I mean, and that's why, you know, the military is a good melting pot of personalities, man, because you do have those folks, man. And if you're in an organization where everyone's thinking about themselves, and ain't nobody thinking for the people, man, I'm so sorry.
I think we talk about this a lot, man, and I know people be like, I know people got their own opinion. I'll just say that, but I'm gonna go off my personal environments that I've been a part of, man, and I just think to that comment that he asked, that who's thinking about the people, whose responsibility is to think about the people. I think it's everybody's responsibility, but I think the number of people that's thinking about everybody else and not themselves is coming smaller and smaller. And I'm only speaking for the environments that I've been a part of, right? And Mike P, correct me if I'm wrong, like a lot of people that I know, I call OGs, you know, Air Force OGs that I've known that was killing the game and taking care of people, got burnt out because they've been surrounded by more people that want to just see themselves grow and not the people around them. So it's like how you get tired after a while from just fighting by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You get worked out, you get burned out from fighting by yourself when you doing all the punches for yourself and everybody else, and then you got all these other people only punching for themselves. You can only do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, like I said, a lot of the OGs that I know that came up that was in this game before me that still had time left, a lot of them bowed out gracefully because it's an uphill battle when your team that's surrounding you is not a team. You know what I mean? They spelling that word a different way. They somehow figured out how to put an I in that word because it's just them. And that's all.
Yeah, and I'll say this, man. I'll tap into it and kind of transform something for you, bro. Like, you know, I don't know if I can put this out there, but I am. Tell me if I ain't supposed to say this. But, you know, we chatted earlier and you're like, hey, what's some off limits topics? You know, nothing else. And I kind of touched on the leadership thing, like, because it just means something different now to me than it did then, man. Like, you know, when you're trying to do that, man, you have folks, back to my guy's question, man. I don't remember his name, but it's a good question, man. But back to his question, man, like, if people are thinking about themselves, man, like, you know, I mean, you could pull their tracks, man, because you know how to move them. I mean, but that's manipulation. Some people call that, oh, I'm a great leader, man. I got them to change. Nah, dog, that's manipulation, man. Like, call it what it is. You know what I mean? And now you're accepting, you know, you're accepting lesser of your character because you're choosing to do more manipulative things, which, like, manipulating somebody ain't. I mean,
it ain't cool.
Necessary evil, right? But like now you're sacrificing who you are, right? And the other piece to the fight, man, I thought that same thing, bro. I was like, the fight's exhausting, this and that. And like I told my guy, I ain't gonna put his name out here, man, but we had a good chat. I think my housekeeper's here, man. My pit bulls were barking, but like we had, you know, we had a good chat, man, and he was telling me, man, he was struggling, man, and I ain't gonna say his name because I know Pete knows him, man. And K9 guys, man, they're like, you know, K9 guys, man, I ain't gonna go off into it, but he's been struggling, bro, and man, I watched him grow up from a youngster, man. Like, I was there when he first came in, man. I done seen some embarrassing things about him and still laugh, man. But like, he's like, you know, Mike, man, like I'm just diving into my work, man. Like, my troops are good, man. I'm a phenomenal supervisor. And, you know, like, I go home, I'm just exhausted now, man. Like, I'm just like giving everything to the work, building team, man. But then I go coach my sons, you know, football game and baseball game and stuff like that. And then, you know, my wife's always on me because, like, you know, she's like, yo, I need you to blah, 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 blah. And so I told him a personal story. I said, yeah, man, I didn't tell my wife that I was retiring until like 2 weeks after it was approved. And I'll never forget. And I told him, and my wife's active duty, man. And we were standing in the bathroom, man, and getting ready, man. So I was in front of my mirror, she was in front of hers, and I was like, hey, I'm retiring. She was like, no, you're not. And I was like, yeah, I am, for real. And she goes, really? I said, yeah, no, it's approved. And so I pulled it up and I showed it to her, and she goes, why didn't you tell me? I said, because that's my career. That ain't yours. And you know how that went, bro. That went.
Oh, yeah, you lost that fight.
But no, it was actually a setup, man. That's why she's coming before it comes, bro. And so I was like, I said, that's my career, man. That ain't yours, man. I got mine. Don't worry about mine. And so she was like, are you serious? Right? You know how it goes, man. And so I looked at her and I said, no, are you serious? I said, you know the long hours and the sacrifices that you and the kids made for me? You know what you've done to put your career behind mine, to lift me up? Nah, it's your turn. Yeah. I said, I'm out. And I'm cool with that, right? So in context of transforming something for you, man, like, you can look and have that laser focus on the team and everything else and get an exhausting, get burnt out and everything else. But what I had to pull my guy back, I almost said his name, man. And he told me I could, but I was like, I ain't use your name, bro. Right. But what I had to tell my guy was this, bro, like, your team that you're building, man, is your damn kids and your wife, bro. 100%. Yeah, you're coaching your son's football team, man, but like, you know, his wife said a good word, statuing. I'm gonna give credit to his wife, man. But yeah, man, you're just a post, bro. Like, you know, that's why I don't work right now, man. I mean, there's a lot of reasons actually, but they're good ones. But like, I retired to like spend time with my kids and my family, bro. I didn't retire to go work and pay for daycare and stuff like that, man. I was retired to connect and chill and everything else, man. Bro, we got a rule in my house, man. I tell my wife to tell me what day of the week it is when I need to know what day of the week it is, bro. Other than that, I don't think I'm thinking Wednesdays or Sundays and all this other stuff, bro.
The thing is, man, they
hold on, Mike. I know you're about to go into a lot, but there's a.
How you know I'm about to go into a lot? I feel like that was a shot. That's why I feel like.
No.
Now, you took a shot because Philly laughed.
That was pretty judgy, man. That was pretty judgy, Pete.
It was.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Pull the comment.
Can't even say a word.
Pull the comment up. Man.
So, well, first of all, there's a really good comment I want Philly to get on, but let me get this one. Can you read this one? And then Samel Brown put up a goddamn book in here, so I'll let you read that one too. But go ahead and read this one.
I keep getting told I need to stay in because the military needs people like me, who look like me, who take care of the people like I do. But I honestly think I'm ready to be selfish and think about me.
Ain't nobody be mad at that. All right, I'm gonna put this
up. Cover my face, man, because this might be. Can I go get some more water, man?
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
Man, I got
go ahead.
Fan off, man. I got like, you know.
Do your thing. Hey, Mike, I'm gonna put this up, and you can decide whether you want to read it. It's long.
Bro.
They covered all my face up.
He should have just called in for that.
So we gonna read that. Oh, you want to read it?
Yeah. We're gonna read it.
Here we go.
So I think we get wrapped up in generational differences. I think it's all relative. When I was a youngin' in '93, the old heads was questioning my why, just like we do today with this generation. Unless you come from a lineage of military legacy, I feel like the majority of those who serve figure it out at the first 8 years of service. We talk retention as if they are new challenges. I'm certain across the various generations of service members, I truly believe there is and has always been a significant number that do 1 or 2 enlistments and bounce. FYI, Army recruited me, not Air Force. I wanted independence. Traveling to leave the hood. I'm certain that those some reasons exist, plus a college education and healthcare. 100%. Yeah.
Hey, so Philly, I want to get to this question. It's a really good question. If you don't want to touch on it, don't. But it's a really good question. We talk about this often.
I ain't never scared, bro.
Okay, so I'll put it. I want you to read it and then go ahead and answer. It's 2 questions. Are you ready?
How you gonna put that disclaimer out there for him?
Oh, well, once you read it, you'll know why.
All right. Anybody think the current political climate has something to do with? All right, let me get focused.
Scott's my guy, man. Shout out to Scott Garrow, man.
Yeah.
Anybody think the current political climate has something to do with the people not wanting to join the military? Also, the lack of common enemy to fight and defend against.
Philly, if you want, you can take that because I know we talk about that a lot. But go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with him. I do think the past. I mean, there's no stranger to what happened in the past 5-6 years with COVID, with the social unrest, with George Floyd, and then the current political drama between the two parties. I think the sense of love for the country in some degree, at least in my humble opinion, has diminished, and not all, but in some. And I think, a lot of our young folks today don't have the same sense of patriotism as we did back in the day. And to Samel's point, I agree. I mean, Samel's on point. I mean, back when I came in, they were looking at us like, yo, we use leather luster instead of regular polish. Are you serious? That's cheap, blah, blah, blah. You use Stay Flow, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You don't wear the ascot on the gate, So my only response to that, though, in hindsight, is that is true. However, I think it's even more profound than it was, I would argue, than it was back when we first came in. This climate now, when it comes to the military and the folks who are not in uniform, are almost, obviously I wasn't back in Vietnam, but I would say it's almost, at least in my opinion, close to it, the perception of the military in the degree. I think most folks look at the military and they scoff. Now, most people would say, hey, look at all the people that just came in. Like Big Mike's son just came in, just graduated BMT. And then you had Big Mike's son, who is also Forgive me, Army Guard Reserve, Mike, Lieutenant.
Yeah, Army Guard Lieutenant. Yep.
Okay, and then you have my son's staff sergeant. However, you look at it though; those three people I just named, they're coming from parents who served or are currently in the military. How many folks you find now? I would argue not many that have joined that do not have some type of lineage with someone in the military. So yeah, I do. To Scott's point, it was a long answer, but yeah, I agree with him 100%. I agree.
Mike P, you want to touch on that? You said no.
I ain't jumping on that one, man.
He said, I ain't jumping on that one, man.
I gotta follow myself, man, and things I do, man. I ain't jumping on that one, bro. Look, man, I say this, man. Never mind, man.
All right. Well, I'll take it, man.
What Philly said. That's a cosign, man. Cosign.
Go ahead.
No, I agree, but also people need to think. And shout out to Scott. I want to put this back up here in case I misspeak or anything. But I want to touch on your last point. A common enemy to fight. Oh, what happened?
Go ahead.
A common enemy to fight or defend against. I think we're always doing that. I just think war is fought completely different now than it was the Vietnam, than it was 9/11, than it was the Iraq war. Like, it's not fought the same. Most of it is basically control, and the control is mostly over technology and stuff like that is how wars are fought now. It's a little bit different. I ain't saying it's all like that, but it's just a little bit different. So maybe it's not in your face so much, and maybe people are not dying at the same rate they were in the Vietnam and the Korean and the Iraq and all that, those type of wars. But people are still being affected by stuff, and we're still defending those things that can affect us. So I just think it's fought a little bit different. But I will say, and I'm not sure Scott's in the military or not, but I will say okay.
He's a chief down there at the 502nd SFS.
Oh, okay. Shout out to him. I mean, we're at war now. To be honest, it's just fought a little differently.
So that's what I was going to say real quick. I'll just say this real quick. So when he says common enemy, there is one.
Right.
The problem is those in the military uniform recognize it, but I think most folks who are not in uniform don't.
Right.
Back when 9/11 occurred, everybody wanted to join the military to get revenge, right? Everybody knew who the enemy was to a certain extent. But for now, when they say, China, 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 we're technically there's no bombs dropping against China. Now, there's an economic and political war, and we know in uniform, we know what's coming or what may come. But for the folks out of uniform, they don't see that. They're like, everything's made in China anyway. What they not bothering me. I mean, they got Yao Ming.
Oh my God, Yao Ming ain't been around for 20 years. Yao Ming.
Yao Ming is good people. We got Yao Ming, So.
Yao Ming. Mike, Big Mike, I'll let you get a chance, or we can just move on. There's another question here.
Yeah, go ahead and move on.
Hey, hold on, real quick, man.
I'm sorry.
Hey, have we ever in the history of a show had a surprise guest?
We have
every once in a while.
Yeah. We have
that dude Mel Brown came in and tried to snipe us though.
We got a show called The Corner, and we let people, jump in. And it's the last Sunday of the month. So,
okay,
yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think most are not making it. Social media only shows the highlights. Most people are struggling. Most of the teams I know are also struggling. When we get people in front of each other off these screens, most can relate to each other's struggle.
They just don't want to say it. They just don't want to talk about it.
I think that's a great statement. And Pete, me and you talked about this probably 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember the conversation. And we was both back and forth with it, but it was about people, you might get some, right? And even when these people do show it, people criticize them. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about when I say it. It is very rare that somebody going to post their struggles, right? Very rare. You're gonna see the vacations. You're gonna see what are you talking about?
Sorry.
Look,
hey, we got no beef, no problems whatsoever.
He's gonna send a paragraph. Zero
problems. Hey, zero problems, big fella.
Roger that. Hey, so People, you're gonna see the vacations, right? You're gonna, and I'm victim of it too. You're gonna, or I'm guilty of it too. You're gonna see the vacations. You're gonna see the new cars. You're gonna see the board houses. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see the new raise that somebody got, or their first trip to Dominican Republic, or whatever. You're gonna see all that. But you ain't going to see the struggles. You ain't going to see the people that missed paying the bill last month. You ain't going to see them broke down on the side of the road because their tire went flat. You ain't going to see that. You might get that one or two person or people that's in the hospital and they like, oh, I'm doing good, just finished my surgery. You know what I'm saying? Now, and then the first time you do see that with everybody, oh, they just want pity. Or I can't believe they posted that and they in the hospital. So you ain't never gonna please everybody, bro. It's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with them 100%. Most people, the people ain't gonna tell you their struggles. You ain't gonna see them. When you see about marriages, you're gonna see the best thing about marriage. You know, the marriage is the greatest thing, and everybody happy, and ain't nobody gonna post it. Let me. I'm gonna say it a little lightly.
I don't know, bro. I keep
saying
lightly, man. You might want to cruise my feed, bro.
You know, it's very rare you see them people post their divorce party because people are having divorce parties now. That's
no, that goes out there. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that's the thing. But you ain't going to see it as much as you see people's successes. You just ain't going. You ain't going.
I think that's you know what? I have a good friend, man, and he posts things, and he always, when he does it, he says, "Yeah, I'm just trying to make people jealous." It's kind of a weird envy thing to have that you would say that. Like he'll post something like, you know, I don't know, pictures of when he's at a football game. Like, yeah, let me make people jealous and post this. So it's like, is your social media for you or is it for other people?
It depends on who you are.
And that's my question. Is it for you or for other people? For other people. If it's for other people, I get it. And usually just say for the movie stars and stuff like that, or you know, maybe even the Twitters and things like that, you have a social media platform. I honestly am. I remember that conversation we had, Mike, and I'm starting to think now, most people just post it to save photos, save memories, save stuff for them so they can go back and look at it later. And that's just a way to do it, another way to do it, other than just having the cloud and whatever you have on your phone.
People.
Okay. All right. I'm giving people the benefit of that.
The question I ask my kids all the time, man, and they hate it and they roll their eyes and stuff. Well, they don't roll their eyes anymore because 2 iPhone 14s went out I-35 at 80 miles an hour. But
damn,
bro, I ain't the one. I definitely ain't the two, dog. And so, but like, you know, I ask them like, yo, what's more important in life, man? Like what we acquire, who we become, man. And that's rhetorical because it's like it's who we become, man. Like. Hands down, I mean, like you ain't come into life with none of this. You ain't leaving it with none of this. You know what I mean? And life can be taken from you in a second, bro.
Right.
And unfortunately, we've seen a lot of that, you know, in our career field, man. And I say our career field because, you know, I don't even go on base, man. I could probably count on one hand how many active duty people I still talk to, man. But I mean, I just got a lot going on, man, with different business interests and you know, financial interests and stuff like that, man. So,
and I wanted to touch real quick when you go back when you talked about the conversation you had with your wife and the retirement piece, and just and Juana was talking about she thinking about, you know, is it wrong to take care of herself? And I answered the question, no, it's not wrong. And then I wanted to throw in there, we sped past it, but you talked, Mike P, you talked about family. Like our family is the ones that's going to catch us at the end of this road, at the end of this fall. You know what I'm saying? And I think 5, 10, 15 years, we got to take care of them. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna be the ones at the end of this road. Because this road is gonna end.
Yeah, and I didn't get to finish my point, man. I appreciate you circling back to that, man. My point to that person was like, man, that's great, man. Like you're great at your job, man. That's awesome, man. Nobody cares. Like, and I hate to be that transparent, man. But like, you know, I told him like your troops, right? They love you. Yeah, I'm a great supervisor. That's awesome, man. You're going to be a story over a beer one night, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, what about your kids, man? Your troops ain't having grandkids that are coming to Christmas with you. Christmas dinner, bro. Like, unless it's on some old weird stuff, which I mean, I ain't putting past nobody these days. It's 2023, bro. But like, you know, and that was my point. It's like, man, like, so what are you doing to yourself, man? Like, and then it kind of boiled down to, you know, with my wife, I was sitting there focused on building a team that I was so focused on that I couldn't pull myself back to be like, bro, I'm putting my family off, man. Like, what kind of person am I, man? What does that say about who I am, bro? You know what I mean? Like, And I got it, man. I love the team, but you can still love the people and still talk to them, man. And you can still love your family and invest in them too, man. Because, you know, your family is your legacy, man. It ain't got nothing to do with the people like, you know, I mean, I laugh about some dumb stuff sometimes. And it's funny, man. It is, you know, we get together. My homeboy, shout out Seth Stockwell, man. First song retired the other day, man. You know, I saw some people I ain't seen in a long time, man. And my guy, Ricky Mathias, man, all them guys, man, shout out. And you know, it's cool, man, to catch up and laugh and joke and everything else. But like, bro, think about it, man. You'll never meet somebody that's like, man, I hate retirement. It sucks. I wish I was back in the Air Force. And I'm gonna tell you why you won't meet somebody like that. Because like I told my guy, man, I said, look, man, retirement's great, but liberation is everything, dog. Like, hey. And I don't like choose violence all the time, but I'm like, bro, man, you know, you might see somebody that's in the Air Force like, oh, I didn't care for that person or whatever. Bro, they ain't gonna come and say nothing to you, dog. Look, hey, like I said, DTA, man. Look, not that action.
You right, man. I seen a post. I put it up, man, because it's crazy you say that too. I seen a post, like a picture. I just reposted, and it said 20 years from now, the only people who remember if you work late are your kids.
That's a good ad, man. I didn't see that, Mike.
Yeah, I put it up, bro, because I seen it, man. I'm like, bro, that's real shit.
Can you put it on? Can you throw that on a page?
And yeah, I will.
You know what? Yeah. I know why people are scared of retirement. You want me to tell you the secret? And I don't have the answer. I'm going to caveat it with this. I don't have the answer, right, on how to solve this problem. But it's because you don't know what you don't know, man. You don't know the benefits out there for you. You don't know that you can get out and get 100,000 free Hilton points for you and your spouse and don't even have to serve.
No, we know because we shared that. Yep.
Yeah. You don't know that you know, you can get out and get 48 months free on top of your GI Bill. It's 36 months. You don't know that if you kept one day of your GI Bill or the person who you gave your GI Bill to kept it, man, that you get paid BAH at the rank you were retired or separated. With dependent rate based off the zip code of your college, and you ain't even gotta go in person full time, bro. Like, you don't know that. You don't know that you can go on there right now to an FCC.gov website and apply. It takes 2 minutes and get free internet every month for the rest of your life, and free phone. You don't know that because they don't tell you that. You don't know that you can get your mortgage paid for. You don't know that you can get your bills paid for, man, your utilities. You don't know that, man, and it ain't gonna tell you. Somebody once told me, man, if you want to keep a secret, man, hide it in a book, man. I read every day, bro. Every day, man. My wife, like I said, my wife got me this book from the chaplain's office. I said, it's called Burn Your Couch. And I was like, where did you get that from? She goes, the chaplain's office. It probably had to be good. I was like, oh, it's chaplain, man. That's what I'm doing to God, probably. Yeah. And I read I said, why did you get it? And she said, it looked cool. Man, I read the forward and I was like, I want to read this, man. That's my next book because I just finished one. Yeah, but expand your mind, man. But like, you know, you don't know that stuff, man, because people ain't telling you that. You don't know that the different perks and stuff that come along with it, man. Like
the sad part,
people are scared, man, because they're like, I didn't get any education, but man, I was a great, you know, staff sergeant. I was a great tech sergeant, senior, or chief. You don't want to be a chief, man. If I want to be a chief, man, I go to clothing sales and buy a chief hat, bro. I don't want to be no chief, bro. I'm a general, man, in my house. You know what I mean? Like, shoot. Bro, look, man, I tell you what, let's stack bank accounts, man. Let's see what's up.
No, I agree. I mean, there's a fear of people not knowing and why they want to get out or don't want to get out because they're afraid of what they don't know, which is respectable at the same time. And I think Mike P, to your point, is just, you know, you have to get educated. And unfortunately, those are things that people won't tell you. I don't say nobody's going to tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to send it out to y'all, man. I'm going to send y'all. I did a document for the show, man. I was telling you about, man. I got to email it to you. My bad, man. So
you good.
So yeah, I'm gonna send it to you, man. Y'all send it out to whoever, man, because knowledge is free, man. Thank you, Samel. Knowledge is free, bro. Like, you know, people look at me and they're like, oh, this, you know, and that's how I like prejudging and stuff, man. Like, you know, I was talking to Philly earlier, man. I code in Python, man. Been doing it for a year and a half, man. I'm self-taught. I was in a room with Mark Cuban and this real estate dude. I need to look him up, man.
Is it Grant Cardone?
No, it wasn't Grant.
Okay.
Man, he's like older dude. He's like, but there was 10 of us in the meeting, bro. Like, I ain't put that on Facebook.
Right.
Like, I don't care.
Right.
I didn't know who Taylor Swift was when I was working for my friend Steve Celine, bro. My daughters, I FaceTime. I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
She's like, you want an autograph? I'm like, I don't know who you are. Hey, here's your card because you're a sponsor for Ford. Like, I don't mess with that crowd. I don't listen to her.
Yeah. That's
You know what I
funny.
mean? So, you know, it's one of the things, man, like going back to that social media stuff, man, like, bro, they're a person too, man. They got problems just like me and you, but like
everybody do.
Yeah.
Everybody do. Nah, but that, like I said, I just say again. Go ahead, Philly.
No, I was gonna say you won't see negative stuff from you will rarely see negative posts from folks. And even if you do see a negative post, more likely it will be something where they're reaching out to their friends base to kind of give them some positive vibes to get over a bad situation. I think the danger with social media is that, you know, for folks who use it, I think Pete said it earlier, if you're using it to archive photos, cool. But I think for people who use social media, you get that quick dose of dopamine to make them feel good about themselves and what they're doing. I think that's the danger in it, because you're right. I mean, I think we often get this idea that we have to justify how good our life is by posting on Facebook. I rarely post on Facebook, and when I do, it's because it's something I'm really happy about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for folks who post something consistently every single day, and God forbid if you don't like it, if you don't like it, they're coming. Oh, you didn't like my post. That's what I'm concerned about. And then the last thing I'll say is about the retirement piece. So I think one thing we want to mention too is there are some people, like I'll use myself for example. Like there's some people, man, like I look at myself in the mirror sometimes. I was supposed to retire a couple of months ago. And don't get me wrong, there's some days I look in the mirror and I look at me, what the hell are you doing, bro? You need to go. Half the people you see around you, like I'm gonna go to this worldwide tomorrow. Half the people are the Chiefs, and I was their supervisor back in the day. I'm like, I feel old as hell. But I don't know. I think even in retirement, man, there are some folks who retire and they go out and they get that quick GS9, GS11 job because they want a second income and they hate their job. I mean, I've got folks in my formation, I don't even know why they're working. It's like you don't like what you're doing, but yet you're retired. If you're retired, that's your opportunity to do something you really want to do that's going to make you get up out of bed and enjoy yourself. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I still enjoy what I'm doing. I really do. But I must admit, I have my days, though.
I think we all do. Yeah, I like what Dooley just put up there, man. Can people do it? I'm guessing post pictures on social media to draw attention for future networking opportunities. I think there's social media for that. LinkedIn is a good one. Twitter is a good one. Even if it's for your stuff, then you can create a page. You can create different platforms. But if it's your own personal page or personal profile page, if you're talking about Facebook, then I think I don't think that's the avenue for that. Depending on what you're trying to advertise. No, I don't think it's the avenue for that. Huh?
We need to start a movement. We need to start a movement called Enjoy the Moment. And what I mean by that is everybody got to pull out their phone and capture everything. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's good. Like, you know, the person who shout out to the person who pulled out the phone during the Montgomery Brawl. Appreciate that, because we probably wouldn't be able to see it. So that was a good thing. But I think everybody pulls out their phone for everything. If you see somebody getting a fight, you pulling out the phone and you commentating. Next thing you know, you internet famous for commentating the fight or something.
Hey, real quick, man. If you don't mind, can I introduce a special guest, man? He just showed up to support me, man. You know, because it's my first time live, man. I'm nervous, man.
Yeah.
I say Scotty B, but
I'm kind of nervous. But yeah.
Oh man, that's my Segway scooter, by the way, man. My little. I use that to ride everywhere. But that's Chief Scott Benford, man. He just
oh, what's up, man? Yo, he probably don't remember. We were stationed in Dover together.
Yeah, he told me he gave you Article 15 or something.
No, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He didn't do that.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, man. Hey,
where's he at?
He's in his house.
He's my house, man. He pulled up over here. He's coming to the Worldwide. He's at go ahead, man.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, so I'm the chief out there at 87th and McGuire.
Okay, all right. Shout out to you.
Oh man, you still out there with your Ravens? That's why you out there.
Yo, you gonna put them on camera?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
You know,
That's what's up. Hey, we got to get you on here one day. Tell your story a little bit.
Yeah, tell my story right now. You put me on.
No. We'll get you on.
We're gonna get you on. We're gonna get you on. All right, G. Yeah.
Look, man, you'll never find anybody that's got better fashion sense than me and him, man. You got us both in a room too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I'm trying to pull up
Versace loafers and the chain, and he helps me too, man.
I'm trying
to. Me and Scott have known each other for a while, man. He's been a you know, I call him a lot too, man. Whenever I'm going through things and stuff, man. So he's been a good you know, sounding board and stuff like that, man. So, you know, having people in your life, man.
You gotta have those people in your corner, man. We don't get through none of this by ourselves. Good. Not at all. Pete, what'd you say you have?
Yo, I'm trying to pull up this picture that back to Philly's point. So let me I got it pulled up right now. So let me pull this up and Mike, go ahead and take something away, and then I'll go ahead and get it pulled up. It's gonna take me another second. Go ahead.
I don't even know what take something away is, but we was talking about that man said take something away.
It was kind of fucked up. Yeah,
like
right.
I was gonna start hitting the note like talk about take something away.
You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
But Philly was talking about people wanting to you said social media and capturing things and just being on or making life seem like it's something that it ain't. And you know what's crazy? We went out last night, man. My wife and I, a couple of friends I had from a couple of bases, and we just went out to late celebration for our birthday, man. And I was at the bar ordering drinks for my wife and myself, and was this young lady at the bar sitting by herself. Nobody was with her, right? Well, at least it didn't look like nobody was with her. But she had a phone, in her face, a couple inches from her face, man, on live, and she was like recording live and like panning the phone left and right, like it was the greatest experience of her life. But what people see is she at this club, she turned up, she's surrounded by people. But in reality, I'm standing right here looking at this lady, and it was the simplest thing in the world. Like, you know what I mean? Wasn't nothing great going on. Nobody was with it. You was by yourself. But everybody else saw something different, man. And that's what people
out there, man.
Hey, that's what people is hoping. I'm gonna show you that I'm living the best life in the world, but I'm standing right here next to you, and you at the bar by yourself alone. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing what these people think you showing it to be, bro. And that goes into what Philly was saying, man. It's the illusion. You know what I mean? A lot of people got to do that every day for the illusion. I'm living this great life, and in reality, you suffering. You know what I mean?
And I tell them, man, I'm like, yo, if nothing else, man, I mean, you should start a career as a hope dealer, man. You dealing all this hope out. You know what I mean? It's good, man.
Pete, you figured out? I took it away like 40 times now, and you still ain't.
Yeah, that was good. Hey, that was good, big Mike.
Pete said, take it away. All right, man.
Take it away.
Johnny Gill or something. They said, take it away.
Oh man, I can't do it, man. I'm sitting here struggling, and it was a picture.
What was you trying to pull up?
So yeah, what it was the picture of when LeBron broke the scoring record, and when Jordan had his last shot. And what you see those pictures side by side. There's a good picture of it side by side. In the LeBron picture, everybody got their phones up, and everybody's like this when he's taking the last shot. In the Jordan, you don't see no pictures or no camera. Now I get it. Time was different. I get it. But it tells you, I think the caption of was live in the moment. And it's like, take the moment, be selfish in your own moment. You ain't got to share all your moments with everybody. Be selfish in your own moment and take it for yourself, which I appreciate as well. But it's a great picture of that if you guys get a chance to look at it. It's really good. It's really good.
I saw this picture.
LeBron is trash anyway. So.
Yeah, LeBron trash, but anyway.
Billy, you a Sixers fan?
Unfortunately.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw. So John Starks, man. It was his birthday the other day, man. I saw when he a picture when he dunked on Pippen and Jordan in the Garden, man. I was like, dang, man, that was tough, man.
Yeah.
I know that's classic. That was classic.
Yeah. Anyway, man, we'll go ahead and sign off. I know we've been on for a minute, but I appreciate everybody been on, man. I hope I didn't mess this recording up at all. I might have, but we'll go back and digress.
What Dooley say, man? What Dooley comment was about before we slide out?
Oh shoot, we just got two from Dooley. So
Dooley.
Yeah,
we need to get him on the show. Dooley, you come on the show. I'm gonna roast the mess out of you.
It's not just social media. Lead us from the top of the all chain way down west. What?
I don't know.
Western Mass. What are you talking about, Western Mass?
I don't know.
This man get up here. He still got coal in his eye. He's trying to post. Can't spell.
Yeah. He should be down there with you in San Antonio. But anyway, man, we'll go ahead and sign off of here, man. Mike P, man, I appreciate you coming on here, bro. For real.
Thank y'all, man. And I'm gonna I owe y'all some due house, man. I'm gonna shoot y'all some good stuff, man. Just send it out to the, whoever, man. There's a lot of resources out there, man. That's no reason for anybody to struggle and suffer and everything else, man. I mean, retirement's phenomenal, man. It's exceeded every expectation. I look forward to seeing y'all when y'all are retired because I got a little something for you, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Thank you very much for having me on, man. I
appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Congratulations to Faith Donovan again for being our contestant winner. We'll go ahead and get you your merch out to you. So appreciate that. And appreciate everybody for being on here, answering the question, man. Everybody that's on here talking and putting things in the chat, man. I really appreciate it. And we'll be on next week with the corner. So as y'all know, well, Philly, I'll let you take the corner away. So go ahead. I'll leave it to you. But thank y'all for coming on.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So next week will be the corner. We do this every month at the last show of the month. This is your opportunity to come on, talk about whatever you want. So just call into the show. We'll send you the link and then just join in. It's fun time. So just don't be scared. And this is a personal shout out to Dooley. Yo, if you come on, please come on.
Look, man,
show.
hold up.
No, for real.
Hold up. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna pull up to the corner next week. Hold on, dog.
With the Pelicans hat on.
504, man. Look.
Yeah.
Boys, man. What's good?
Yeah.
Don't ask me no Zion questions. I ain't currently receiving Zion questions. All right. All right, man. It's been what kind of dating Zion? We ain't really committed to him right now.
Yeah, the corner's for everybody. So if you up to it, go ahead and phone. I'm telling you, we'll take good care of you. It's pretty easy.
Sabel said he coming on for roast session.
Hey,
hell no.
Tell him to bring it. But yeah, man. Hey, like y'all already know my slogan, man. I appreciate y'all chiming in, supporting, comments, questions, share again, like some more, man. I appreciate y'all taking the time to jump on with us and keep this show entertaining. We won't be able to do this without y'all. Shout out to everybody that shot the donations and the shares out. What you said, Pete? What you said his name was? James. Thank you, James.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, James. We appreciate it. Hey, man. But yeah, that's me, man. You already know. You already know I'm a father always at heart. So shout out. I know my oldest son watching. I don't know if my youngest son watching. I know my daughter somewhere around here. But I just want to let y'all know.
You gotta be out in that uniform, bro.
It's Sunday, so he chilling. They both chilling. But I just want to let my kids know if y'all watching. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all, and I'm super proud of y'all.
Yeah,
y'all already know who it is. What's up? Go ahead.
Mike P. We always leave the last comment to the guest, man. So go ahead.
Nah, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the questions, the comments, the good dialogue, man. I appreciate Scott B, man, showing up, man. My guy, man. I ain't seen him forever, man. This is my dude right here too, man. They have the word pioneer for a reason, right? Because somebody's always blazing the trail, man. Don't ever be afraid to blaze your own trail, man. You're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fail. But man, go out there and get it, man. Don't ever be afraid. Don't let it stop you. Don't let fear stop you, except for that voodoo stuff, man.
Shout out. Yeah, shout out, man. Hey, unpopular celebrities, bro. We out of here.
Y'all already know what it is. Peace.